Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Here on this channel we talk about everything to do with the African diaspora, politics, music, life, love and everything in between. So if you're interested in those topics, then like, share and subscribe, and remember to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I have another video. Right, that's out the way. I did my homework today, so I've been taking notes. Today we're going to be talking about the APC Constitution, and we're also going to be looking at how people vote, the way they vote, right? So anyway, I remember like the Buhari's first term, I was really impressed by the fact that Buhari was an older man, and you know, it seems so sweet that this man was not going to allow age to get in his way. He was very tenacious. He decided he was going to run for president. So I was kind of getting into the non-age discrimination thing. So when he won, you know, I was genuinely quite pleased for him, because I felt like, okay, here's a man that is really achieving his dreams in life, and it's quite an inspirational story and all of that. And I also like the way that Jonathan conceded, because it's not, you know, it's quite unusual like for African presidents to just concede like that, you know, to make a phone call and be really gentlemanly and say, you know, bruh, you won and I lost and I'm leaving. He didn't do a Yaya Jammeh. He wasn't like, didn't do a Donald Trump. He actually just said, fair dues, I'm going. But I want us to look at, how does somebody go from Sai Baba to Ono come out, we're done with Ono? How do you go from that? So anyway, if you fast forward now to the 2019 elections, the 2019 elections were fascinating, right? On so many levels. I tend to follow like Nigerian elections anyway for some strange reason, but this one really grabbed my attention even more. So, you know, you had over like 73 candidates, right? And just think about this for a minute. Here's where my notes come into play now. Do you know that even to contest, it's going to cost you to get the form? This is the price of the form, right? So the PDP wanted $33,000, right? That's how much the form costs. The APC wanted $97,000. The APC wanted $97,000 for the nomination form. Who's got that kind of money? Who has got that kind of money? Like, to me, that is absurd, but basically that it is what it is. In 2019, you had over 73 candidates who were vying for the position of the president. And, you know, when I saw the list, it was just this long, when you saw like the polling list, right? So you go to the polls with this big old piece of paper, like this long old forms. But, you know, what can you say, right? So many people want to run the country. So anyway, the candidates themselves, I personally feel that you had a great choice, right? So I'm going to just point out a couple of people. So APC, obviously, you had Muhammadu Buhari, so he is now the president. He won. For the PDP, you had Atiku Abubakar, right? So I remember his vice, or his running mate, was Peter Obi. I thought Peter, you know, he's got this little high-pitched voice or whatever, but he's actually a really sweet guy, and he seems to memorize numbers like he's, you know, I don't know, like, just seems to eat numbers for breakfast, does Obi. But, you know, respect to Obi, I think he would have done better if he had gone for the actual position of president, but he didn't. Donald Duke for the SDP, I don't know, quite an unfortunate name in a way, but yeah, I saw some of his interviews and I wasn't completely enthralled by Donald Duke, but you know, some people were. You had Fela Duratoye. Fela was really cool. Now Fela was another one of the younger guys, and he did very well, to be fair. Like, Fela did well in his interviews, he came across well. Obi Ezekwesili, now Obi Ezekwesili, she was running but she pulled out, and she was running for, or with a party called the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria. Now, the thing that stood out to me about this party was when Obi pulled out, the party dissed her, they dissed her, they dissed her like there's no tomorrow. I remember thinking, look at these grown men. I was so disgusted, I couldn't believe it, and I thought, I'm so glad. And I remember thinking, why is she even with these people? Like, this, oh. Anyway, it was funny, frustrating, and everything all rolled into one, right? That party dissed her like there's no tomorrow. And after I saw that, I thought nobody should vote for them. You had Topwe Fashola. Now, Topwe, I saw some of Topwe's interviews, and Topwe, to me, Topwe was really cool. He's a nice guy, let's be fair. Topwe's a nice guy, and he did well as well. Topwe was with the Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party, right? I don't really know about the party, but yeah, so he did a good job, Topwe. You had Kingsley Moghalu. Kingsley was probably one of my favourites. You know, and I was really following his campaign. Then I got a bit distracted with Shore and the AAC and all of that. So, but you know, Kingsley, a solid guy. He's just like the kind of guy that, you know, you can go have a little meal with or a drink or something, chill out. And Kingsley just looked like, you know, he would drop you where you need to go if you want to buy some shopping. And Kingsley would just sit and wait for you, and just a nice person. Like, maybe too nice to run a country like Nigeria. I don't know, who knows, right? But a nice guy. And I know he's running again, because I saw him recently on an interview, and you know, he declared, you know, he came out, declared that he's actually going to be contesting again in 2023. And you know, they were saying, well, why are you going to do that again? What's changed? So Kingsley was like, well, the people weren't ready then, but maybe they're ready now. And Kingsley was like, well, you got what you asked for. How far now? So Kingsley's like ready to go on it again. So, you know, take on board what he's saying, like follow him, listen to what he's saying. And you know, he's got, I think he wrote a book or something, and I'll link that if I can, and to his website. So if people want to know more about Kingsley, definitely check out Kingsley. Obviously you had Shore. Now, of those few people that I mentioned, aside from maybe Atiku and Donald Duke, I would say any one of them would have made a fantastic president, right? And for some reason, people tend to have this, you know, better the devil you know attitude. And it's the same right even here in London. So we recently had mayoral, you know, elections for the London mayor, and the current mayor, you know, he hasn't done anything for London. Things are as expensive as ever. He's blocking off all the roads, got people driving around like rat in a cage, and nobody's really happy, right? There's no investment in youth services, no real investment in projects or diverse communities, nothing, right? So what did the people do? They voted for him again. And like someone said to me, well, you know, there wasn't a credible alternative. Well, there was credible alternative. There was opposition. But, you know, for them, it's like, oh, but we don't really know them. No, of course you don't know them. You know, you're not going to know unless you give people a chance. It's like when you go for a job interview and people are like, well, you know what? You really seem like you do a good job, but you don't have any experience. Everyone tells you the same thing. You don't have experience. Well, how are you going to get experience if nobody gives you the chance? Like, sometimes you got to give the opposition a chance. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the APC manifesto, right? Because I don't know how much it is to buy votes nowadays. I know before it was probably about, you know, it was a bag of rice, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 naira, and you know, you secure your vote with that, and then the people are hungry in about a month and then complaining. So we're going to look at the APC manifesto, and it's a really interesting read. So whoever wrote the manifesto, well done to you. It's a very great piece of work. And yeah, we're going to see how the APC have actually done, you know, in alignment with their manifesto. Because if it turns out they haven't done very well, then you guys know what to do in 2023. Should there be a 2023 elections? Should there be a country come 2023? Have a look at what they said about manufacturing. Look at what they've said about health, about schools, education, jobs, and then ask yourself, these are all really good ideas, but how have they done? And if they haven't done well, then you know what to do. No one can buy your vote when you know what someone should be delivering to you and they've failed to do it. So you'll be able to know whether or not they're even on the road to delivering, or if they have no desire to deliver what they've said in their manifesto, right? And if you go on INEC's website, you'll find the manifestos of all the political parties. So I would advise people to read the manifestos, right? Read the manifestos. You know, improve your political education. Share that with people who maybe cannot read or don't have access to the internet. These are the things they need to know. right? So they'll be less likely to sell their vote. Political education is so powerful because it means people can't pull the wool over your eyes all the time, right? So get your wine, get your little glass of wine, your little tall dinner, get some food for nyam, and sit down. Like, I've been enjoying reading this, and to be honest, it just goes to show I ain't got nothing better to do today. But yeah, you know what you think. Personally, all the manifestos are like manna from heaven, right? It's El Dorado. Everything is perfect. The proof is in the pudding at the end of the day. You need to know that these guys are going to do what they said they're going to do. So that is my notes. But I'll tell you the other thing as well. When you think about how much it costs to run, do you know it's like it's half price for women or free, and the only woman that's contested, and that was with the PDP since the 1999 democracy, right, is a woman called Sarah Jabril, and I think that was in 2011. So Sarah contested in 2011, and apparently Sarah got 1 vote. So I'm like, your party never vote for you, like your husband, you know, your husband never vote, your family never vote for you. Like, what happened? How can you get 1 vote? Surely there's more than 1 person even in your own family. Sure, there's more than 1 person in your party. Disrespect. That's so disrespectful, man. But anyway, you know, well done to Sarah. And this is not to, you know, take the mick or whatever, because it's not an easy job. But anyway, that's me now. So that's my notes over with, guys. So get your drink and enjoy the manifesto until we meet again. Bye bye.